So now we can start with our second panel. I would like Robert Čoban to join me here, and his panelist Milena, Đorić, Gudurić, Orhan Gazibegović, Dimitrije, Trbović, Krešimir, Macan i Vanja, Bertalan. While they are coming here, I just want to inform you that after this panel, we will have the lunch break in any restaurant in the hotel. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Čoban. I'm president of Color Press Group. Let me introduce my guest. Milena Đorić is head of marketing at Mastercard Serbia, Montenegro, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Orhan Gazibegović, president of eCommerce Association of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Dimitrije Trbović, CEO of neostar.com Zagreb, Croatia. Krešimir Macan, PR specialist from Croatia. And Vanja Bertalan, human company, agency, CEO from Zagreb, Croatia. Speaking about branding, I will tell you a short story about branding in my industry. We are in media publishing last 30 years. So since 1992, you can imagine what happened in those 3 decades and how many changes we have. In 2005, I was at the Hotel Waldorf Astoria in New York. It was FIPP conference. FIPP is Federation of Periodical Press, Federation of Magazine Publisher. So 2005, that was 2 years before first iPhone and 3 years before economic crisis. And I remember presentation of Jonathan Newhouse. Jonathan Newhouse, I think he is still CEO of Condé Nast. Condé Nast is one of the greatest media publisher in the world, specialized in high-end luxury magazines like Vogue, like Vanity Fair, like Glamour. And name of his presentation was Branding is Not Enough. So in 2005, he pointed like 10 or 15 cases all over the world, how strong big international magazines brand, some of them also from Condé Nast portfolio, failed in some market from different reasons. Like why failed Vanity Fair in Italy, why failed Vogue in Korea, Playboy in some other markets, and he pointed many different reasons. One is concept was too close to original concept, not very well adapted to local, let's say, Korean women, for example, of Vogue. Another reason was concept was too far from original, so too close to local market, and it lost their spirit and their original idea. Third reason was local partner, wrong local partner. Fourth, everything was okay, but it was too much competition. So five magazines of that kind on the markets. So it was, I said in 2005, before economic crisis and before technology changes that change consumption of media and everything else. Today we are here, we have 40 minutes or less than to speak about branding in this new digital world and e-commerce, and I will start with Milena. Milena Mastercard is one of the strongest and most recognizable brand, not only in digital and e-commerce world. Founded in 1966, 24,000 employees in 2021, and revenue of $18.88 billion in 2021. So how is important such a strong branding in case of Mastercard's card and your business as a head of marketing?
First of all, hello, everyone. You did the very nice research. Thank you. Thank you. Coming from media, It's expectable, yeah, we can expect that. Well, branding for Mastercard is very important because we have a specific model of how we function, and that is mainly through issuers or through other partners. So to make our brand visible, it's very important, and it's a jungle out there, yeah. Because the issuance of our cards depends on other partners. We don't issue our own cards. Mm-hmm. So branding branding is very important, and what we are especially proud of in digital era, and I don't think that many brands did that, and I'm sorry that though presentations don't work today anyways, but you can easily Google like the evolution of our logo, for example, how it looked like long ago and how it looks like now, and it's actually a very a logo that is very, very adapted for digital for digital space, yeah, for mobile apps especially.
It was like because 4 or 5 versions since
it was
60s,
4 or 5 versions until it came to this 2 circles now, even without Mastercard below it, because it's a recognizable brand that doesn't even need it today. So we also have a sonic part of the brand. We are one of the rare brands that has a sound as well. We have a whole lot of playlists even, so we're entering even the music sphere, and I was listening to your panel when you said experience. So yeah, we're exactly preparing ourselves for a different era of advertising. It will still be an advertising, but much different, where you really have to pull people in to actually be visible and to for them to love you, actually, because people buy what they love and they do what they love, and that is what it comes at the end. And to work for Mastercard actually is very interesting because and challenging, and you have to learn every day, because we don't sell donuts. We are actually, our goal is to make people see how new technologies and new services make their lives really better and easier. And it's not easy to make people start using some payment methods that they haven't been using before. So even if it's gonna make their lives better, people don't like to change things in their lives. So every campaign and every effort we make, it takes time. So you cannot make wonders with one campaign. You have to do it even for 10 years. It took 10 years to make people pay contactless. So
you targeted special generation groups like baby boomers or like my X generation or because
no, you want everyone.
Yeah, I think the youngest generation, like millennials and Z, they are born with this, and
they are. But you would be surprised. They want to pay with everything. They want to use cash as well. So they want to have possibilities to pay in every possible way, with coins, with cash, with cards, with wallets, it's even, that's the most difficult generation coming our way.
Can you point us differences between markets you cover? Serbia, Montenegro, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. From someone abroad, looks like it's the same or similar 3 markets, but I think it is not.
It's quite similar. You already heard some numbers today, so I will not bother you with that because I know you will not remember it. And you will hear more later on the panels, I'm sure, because I've seen some preparations for those panels as well. So the numbers are growing. They're growing. But it's quite slow. It's not a revolution, you know. Those are still not a big numbers. As I said, it's going to take time. But that's why we're going to have our jobs. Yeah, because we have a lot of things to do.
We heard in first panel that North Macedonia is totally digitalized, and North Macedonia is compares with their size. They are probably number 1.
Absolutely, but what is growing very much are bill payments, because people, like in eComm, online bill payments, because people realize that they shouldn't go anywhere from home and they can pay their bills on their phones or iPads, or so it's really easy. clothes. It's very similar. For the three markets that we're covering, it's bill payments, clothes, digital marketplaces, food delivery. Corona made wonders in that sense and really showed how technology does make your life easier.
Yeah, we'll speak later a little bit about how Corona was a game changer in this. Krešimir, it was year 2002 when we first met at the party after Dora in HTV, Croatian State Television. Tell me, so 2 decades, 20 years, tell me, is branding equally important today as it was in old world 20 years ago?
It is as important, but it's changing forms. So what we heard this morning from the beginning, we had two Italians telling us story about some strange cows giving some strange milk and feeding Andrea and creating with such creative ideas in a small village. And then the story about Apple that we probably most of us haven't heard of. Okay, we are close to Italy, but we know for Italians, they're good merchants, they're good storytellers, aren't they? So what's the most important for brands, in my opinion, I'm coming from PR perspective, so I'll always go today, is telling your story. When we heard the numbers this morning about, Macedonia, whoever said people still don't trust paying by credit cards online. You know why? Because for 20 years, Mastercard and all the others were telling it's not safe to buy online. And I was ever confused why they are doing so, because, not you as a general, but all the banks were saying, no, Mastercard, but I say any car, sorry, but all car holders, sorry for a brand, but nobody said it's safe to buy. Everybody was saying it's not safe. Just banks, because they were not safe of the frauds or everything, they were saying you better not buy. And I was buying from Amazon, fine, 2000, whenever, and goods were coming in. I was feeling safe, and I was really confused. I'm an engineer, so I was confused. Why do they say it's not safe? So it's strange that today people don't feel safe because they were telling for years it's not safe to buy internet. And who is saying that to you? Your bank that is keeping your money. So do you need a bank? Of course you do. So it's now change the story. He who broke the microphone really broke it this morning. Okay. So I think that narrative is very important, and also you have to be aware of timing. So I think Andrea is great in timing. I'm unfortunate with the timing because when I had 1 million views on YouTube, it was 2006. I had to be anonymous, and there was no revenue sharing. So in a few years, I had 10 million views, and I had never got anything. And I was in Croatia. That's also, so you have to be lucky to be born either Italy, to move to Canada, or to work in Belgrade. So you have to be respectful of the time, opportunities, the window that opens, because you see the short video in 2006 was popular. I remember most of you from Serbia, and I don't know if Andrea employs this guy, but I'm great fan of Zvoganj. Yeah, the guy, that's you, or you employ him. You are the fan, okay. So last time when I was watching the channel, it was like 500,000 subscribers for short videos that he was hand-drawn and interpreted all the voices, but he had great stories. He had great stories. I can watch it over and over because the story is great. So what people in online and merchandise, any kind of marketing, keep to forget that you need now great. It's 7,000 messages that we are exposed daily, on daily basis. And every brand has to go on with that story that will attract attention, that we will learn something from the story. We listened to the stories this morning. We didn't watch any presentation, luckily. Why? Because then we were given a chance to listen to great storytelling, and we liked it. Better than presentation. And this is, I think, what's the key for branding in the future. Great storytelling. And one of the big challenges that most of the marketers don't probably use still that much is that power of native. You know, in your business how it is changing. But great story, native story, written professionally, with a great, lead that you can go on somewhere with a story or learn something from that. It's creating great business. Much more impact on a brand than any advertising.
As a PR professional, have you noticed any interesting new brands in digital and e-commerce world in last 2 years? Let's say since pandemic started. changes with...
Okay,
with
speaking worldwide, you have to understand that
in Croatia, in Zagreb,
but
on the streets, in media, on television.
we are taking slow, but you have to understand most of the digital brands are still on TV in US. Because they need, we can be usually confused here by saying you can reach everybody if we are digital, and we would be betting on that. But not. Most of them are now moving also to TV to cover everybody, and they have to do that. Regarding the Croatian market, I would say the native is great now. So you can get great, I think that Mastercard has great uplift campaign in Croatia. Okay. So this is the way of storytelling. You have great hosts, Zoran Šprac, isn't it? You have great stories, and I noticed it. And at least I notice titles, and I see if I'm interested, I'll go into it, if it's my subject. So this is the fight for attention. And more, so I see so much ad. So Google displays one. People want story. If you give them a story, there is, for any brand, there is much bigger chance that they get
in real life, like food delivery services. I think that was visible on the streets.
Not only that, Corona actually moved that to a great extension, and I think every country in the world and in this region who missed opportunity to digitalize really missed a great push. We had great success in our census, for example, so then more than 50% people signed themselves. In the census, so nobody came to your home. They made a census digitally. So it's a great success, but I think we missed that opportunity. So we are again going back to the same habits, but the delivery is definitely not going back, nor Uber. So we were among first that legalized Uber and all these taxi services. I think it's not legalized in Serbia yet, no?
No.
Yeah. So we legalized it, and I think it's a part of our essential life. Actually, I don't have to have a car anymore in Croatia. Uber is cheaper.
Speaking about cars, Dimitrije, tell us what is Neostar and how this kind of platforms are important in digital and shared economy today.
Thank you. Neostar, it's not e-commerce solution only. Neostar, it's omni-channel solution. If you ask me, my cup of tea, it's omni-channel in the business. Omnichannel basically means that we don't care if somebody starting buying the car online and finishing online. Starting buying the car online and finishing in the showrooms. Starting buying car showrooms and going online. Because we are making the software one environment for all these places. And this is important for us. Without omnichannel, selling, buying car, making service, certainly it's not possible. It's not possible in the digital form. And when we starting create Neostar, we starting create the pretty much unique platform, because today in the world you have some examples of buying, selling car in the platform form, but you don't have servicing and all other service around the car in the same form. And this is, for us, was very important when we start with the Neostar. In one hand. In second hand, the most important thing is it's a platform. Platform for us and for the platform business means that you have balance between supplier and demand. Supplier demand side. Without this kind of balance, it's not possible to running a long-term relationship in the platform business. And whole idea was, let's go fix any kind of friction in the traditional model of buying the car, because nobody believed to car salesman. Car salesman, it's a ninth circle of the hell, you know, together with lawyers and shoe salesmen. And in this model of friction, the key point was how to fix all friction, especially with the used car business. In the used car business, nobody believes nobody, because it's this kind of business. Because it's
everywhere.
In the whole world, it's the same situation, because the asymmetric of information is huge. You have on one hand seller, and seller knows something what you don't know, like buyer. And the reason why we want to solve this problem, because this problem it's from beginning of the car. On the beginning was the car, and the car was symbol of freedom, etc., etc. Today, not so much, and today it's key point how to solve all friction in this process. In the process of the servicing the cars, it's the situation is even worse, because I never meet the people who want to go spend the money in the service, making service in the car. I never met the kind of people. You want to go in the service and pay less. This is idea. And our idea is how to be radically transparent and give all price for all service, for all brands on one place. And at that point, when we started before 3 years, it was only one platform in the US who making same platform like us. It's called Your Mechanic, and today it's huge. And
do you have competition in Croatia or region? Platforms like yours?
In the region, I don't know. We have classified business, like Njuškalo, I don't know what is in the service, sorry, etc. But we don't have this kind of platform that somebody who's selling the car put the car on the platform. We going on the address of the seller, making the inspection of the car, making the picture of the car, making the hotspot and every extra details, including malfunction of the cars, and etc., and put on the platform. And somebody who buying this car, buying the car with all information what you need to buy. And it's really possible to buying the car 100% online, because if you are paid through the card, just a small amount of money, you be sending the offer, and or if you're paying by offer, we are delivering the car on your address.
Okay.
Do you have cash on delivery with the car?
Yeah, we actually
Admit.
we actually did about the cash. We actually have also possibility to pay with cash, but not in our system. It's possible to pay in the cash, but in this area, cash it's king still, and this is the problem with this area. I think the Uber have cash in Croatia. I don't know in other country in region. In India, Pakistan, in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's rare.
Yeah.
According to information you have, how you see future in car industry in, let's say, 5 or 10 years from now? How many percent plug-in electric cars? How many percent of owned cars in comparison with used cars? Do you have any idea? I found some figures. Plug-in electric cars in use in Norway is now 18%. So Norway is number one. The second is Ireland, 5.5. Third place is Sweden, 3.7. Then Netherlands, China is 1.9, and Germany 1.2. And Europe, whole Europe is 1%. In United States, 0.7. So what do you think in which direction it will be?
I came in Croatia yesterday from Audi internal conference, and I saw whole future in next 10 years of the cars, and this is a good question. The future is in electric cars. We see
how fast?
In next 10 years, we see the models who come in next two months in the classic engine, but this is the last edition of every of this model. A4, A6, Q3, it's all this model, it's the last edition of the classic engine. And we see, of course, the new models, and the future it's in electric cars. In next 10 years, European production will be 100% in electric. This is one important topics. Second, it's traditionally production of car, it's all about the car products, and all manufacturers want to switch to customer-oriented company, and this is very difficult if you are producing the car, because in 100 years you are product oriented, and now you must to oriented to the customer.
Especially with traditional old companies. Like,
and you are not hungry, and if you are not hungry, you don't need this. And this is the problem with all producer except one, except Tesla, because Tesla is a platform from beginning oriented to customer. Tesla don't give a two product.
Twitter to
two product, because if you're watching the Tesla, you see the space between two doors like this. In Audi, it's a question of the life and death.
Yeah.
If you don't have perfect product, but Tesla, it's a customer-oriented company, and the future is, of course, electric, almost 100%, because hybrids it's a transition, just a transition. Second,
ownership and
of course, and the most important things today, every manufacturing know everything about your chassis number, VIN number, but nothing about you. And this is the main question: how to switch from product to customer, from VIN number to your email.
Yeah.
To your email.
Or your DNA.
Yeah. But this is the almost on.
Future. Okay, we'll see on Twitter probably. Vanja, on your company website, I saw last night different clients and brands such as Čazma Trans, Diners, A1, Podravka, Kulinarka, Zadovoljna, Lino. So how important is branding today in digital and e-commerce world with such a many totally different brands and totally different industries, and how you manage to do it? Because looks you are not specialized in covering one industry.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if I said that branding doesn't matter?
Okay, it's legitimate
No,
to say.
No,
Jonathan Newhouse would say the same. Yeah.
This is how I'm thinking about it this way. A lot of time and effort is being spent on figuring the next big thing, the new ways to communicate, using new platforms and everything. And I'm certain that not enough energy is being directed to fundamentals, because it's almost everything that applied 50 years ago is still applicable today and will be in the future. And we're talking about brands here, but I think we're really talking about people. When you think about people, there are people that are nice. Nice people are nice to be with. They're smart. They wash occasionally. They smell nice. All the good things. And there are not so nice people. The people that are often mean. They're egocentric, thinking just about themselves, etc.
They also smell nice.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have people that you need, and then you have people that you want. And now we have a quadrant system. You have terrible people that you have to work with, or you have to. I would so much love to avoid the administration system sometimes, but just can't. It's something I have to do. So if you're a brand and you're obnoxious, but you have a great pricing policy and a great product, and people need you, you can still thrive. The question is how long, but you can be successful. But if you want to think long term, you have to be nice. And you have to be you, and you have not to be afraid about telling when you're wrong, because when you say you're wrong, the people will respect you even more. And so many brands are so frightened about saying anything. They are all into political correctness, which will kill us, by the way.
Speaking about that, you heard about this Domaćica case.
Yeah.
You probably know what I'm... Yeah. You agree with this? Yes. Yeah.
Nice cookies.
Anyone else? And this change in their presentation, names.
Very inspired from a woman point of view.
This is what they, yeah.
Because the woman is not only for the house, the woman.
Yeah, that was their idea. Yeah.
The idea is nice. The execution not so much.
Anybody disagree with lady? here, not on this statement, the last one, because I read many totally different comments everywhere in social media and in traditional media, because that was this fake political correctness, forced political correctness only because of political correctness, and it's really tricky to do such a thing with such an old and strong brand like Domaćica is.
Yeah. It's scary, really, the political correctness thing, and the things we're being led to believe and taught. That I'm not happy about that part of the future.
Krešimir, you?
Okay, so it's bad execution. So simply,
Domaćica case.
It's a bad execution. It's bad execution. They wanted to make a story, and they made a story, but the wrong one. So they wanted to.
What would be your suggestion to them? How to do it?
Just to execute. No, but to execute it properly. Now they have crisis communication, and I think, okay, it's too. So this is where we say branding is important. So Domaćica, I think it's Domaći Keks in Serbia, because somebody.
No, it's Domaćica.
They bought the brand.
It's
they bought the competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so Domaćica is so strong brand in Croatia. So you can add anything to it, nothing would happen as long as they are good cookies. Because you buy them as a good biscuit, so you don't mind about what's written after it. So people have to understand that. So somebody wanted to play with a big brand. So sometimes
we will see figures after a couple of months.
We'll see figures, but I think this is what Vanja says. We are too much political correct. So if they created such noise on a social network, and if they start campaign, I think tomorrow, something like that, Friday, on a main TV, TVs will cover all that social noise. Trust me. TV will cover if the story is okay, but they simply executed wrong. They changed they added other employments of women or other professions.
Professions, yeah.
They share this story. How I understand it. Domaćica is the woman who make very nice cookies, but at the same time can be
lawyer, yes, and also saying they want us to participate more at home so that we make great cookies too, and that's a nice story. But the problem is they delivered first new cookies to the stores without the story. So who created the story? This is typical crisis communication. If you don't tell your story, somebody else tells it, and it's not always your friend. So this is what happened to them. They have typical crisis.
Enough with Domaćica. Orhan. Okay.
One quick remark. We can look at it.
Why I even started with this? I don't know.
Yeah, but this plays really well.
About Domaćica. Please, after Orhan.
So you see the story. You see the power of story.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but just one short thing. Let's look at it this way. All right, the story is right. All right, they didn't tell it in the best way. Fine, but it doesn't matter in the end. If
we speak 10 minutes about
yeah, when thinking about brands, it's important to try things. It's better to do something, and make a mistake and do something about it, rather to be complacent, sit back, do nothing. So looking at it that way. Good for them, they did something.
Okay. Orhan, finally. You are currently focused on innovative payment methods and improvement of e-commerce business in Bosnia and Herzegovina, philanthropy and vital initiatives for digital transformation at the state level.
Amongst other things.
How all this worked in such a complicated country as Bosnia and Herzegovina?
First of all, hello everyone.
You can answer too.
I wouldn't go that far. Call it complicated. We are coping, to try to balance everything, and that is the main reason the e-commerce association was founded. We had so many, let's say, issues and challenges that we just needed to fix. They worked in other countries, no problem. But in Bosnia, we just needed just that little bit of a push to fix that, such as donations, government agencies, even the OCT segment is unsegmented and mystified. Nobody knows can it be done or not. The pharmaceuticals and everything through the e-commerce. So a group of experts formed, and we wanted to change things. We wanted to make things happen, to make a local market better, and to make it work same as every other country in the world. And
I said, excuse me, I said complicated because, as I know, you have even different regulation in two different entities regarding some marketing. I know from our event
we
business.
use it in our advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Okay.
in one entity something is, you know, easier to be done, and that's why we use it as our advantage. You know, because if it's done there, we just go on the other side and say, okay, it can be done.
I think this segment is probably one of the rare that can work without problem because
it must work.
Yeah.
The world is changing. You've seen the significant expansion of e-commerce during the past 2 years. In our experience, with over 300 new web shops, new online merchants through the largest payment gateway, Monterey Payments, we've seen so many new ideas, so many new businesses, and basically when we look at branding, what's very interesting, we have so many online-only businesses. So people start a business, they don't need a space, they work it from their home, they're online only. But the branding concept is the same. If you want to create a brand, you do the same thing for a brick-and-mortar store or for an online store. And what is very interesting, you know, young people, and I'm very glad we supported more than 80 new startups who just had an idea, and we helped them through mentoring, through web development. For them, everything it's like a maze. They don't know how to what's the next step. So we help them with even opening account in the bank can last for 3 months. You know, we help them with that, with web development, with the integration to the payment gateway, free usage. So what is interesting? So they create their website. They put the articles and the products in, they integrate to the payment gateway, okay. And when they're finished, they think, okay, we're done. Now we can sell. And I always just, you know, had to be the bearer of the bad news and no, you just started. Now your fight is starting. Now you have to build your brand, build your marketing, build your empire. So that is the main thing that I'm trying to, you know, pass on to the new web shops and new online merchants.
Thanks. Milena, you want to add something?
Just one, no. That ship has sailed with the Majica. But
Okay.
the thing about Bosnia is that you need double budgets. Because, for example, we have, in Boston, we have 2 e-commerce associations. So you need 2 budgets for the e-commerce associations. And
So
most of the things are double.
You're on state level or just entity level?
So, yeah, that's my experience.
There is Bosnia-Herzegovina e-commerce association and only Republic of Srpska.
No, actually both are in the same entity.
Both are in the same entity.
Yes, so it's a complex.
That's, I think the word complicated, it was maybe too soft.
Yeah, but it's a nice market, yeah.
Oh, please explain us.
There is so much work to do.
I know.
We need to double up.
Yeah, but explain us. When we signed contract with Hello Magazine, licensing contract, and I tried to explain Miss Sally Cartwright from London which territory we will cover with Hello Magazine, and I said, okay, Serbia, Montenegro, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. I don't know why I said which is consists from 2 entities, and she said, I know, from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I said, no, it's not from it is from Federation Bosnia Herzegovina and Republic of Srpska. She said, okay, put it whatever you want, just don't bother me. And so
it's inexplicable.
It is. And we really want to help, and we are also present there. And we choose Central Bank of Bosnia and Herzegovina for our institutional partner for the Economist Conference in Bosnia last December, because I consider the Central Bank as something which is really one of the rare institutions covering both entities without any, and it was but it was good. So it is sometimes confusing for us. I don't know. You said for you it is business as usual, probably. Yeah. Okay, and we can accept that. Is there one or two short questions? Do we have time for questions? No, lunch. Everyone is.
Yeah, they are like.
So-
Are you hungry? Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay. Hungry for more information,
right.
or hungry?
Thank you.